I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like this before. Look, I get it. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark being mentioned together is good for business. The ticket prices for the Sky game against the Fever, the last matchup of the regular season, are apparently like the highest ever on record on the secondary market. Obviously, it's always a highly anticipated showdown when the Fever play the Sky, when Reese and Clark face off. But there's like this compulsory need by the media to force a Rookie of the Year conversation when it's over. When it's over. The Sky have been tumbling in the standings, and Reese's only advantage over Clark is rebounds. She's been good defensively too. This is not a knock on Angel Reese. She's had a terrific rookie season. And she brings positive value to the team. But Caitlin Clark has run away with the award. I mean, leading in points and assists and blocks and steals, and her team is winning. Like, if you have eyes and you watch, there's just no way you can continue to put them in the same sentence when one is in the MVP race and the other is not. But people are doing it. And they're not stopping. ESPN, one culprit, of course. ESPN with their rankings of rookies yesterday. I think it was, I forget who wrote the article. Neil Payne's article, I think. Angel Reese came in at number 1 by their Raptor statistic. All that tells me is that your statistic is garbage. That's what it tells me. And you would think ESPN would be above like rage baiting engagement farming like that. But nope, definitely not the case. And then on ESPN this morning, I like this comment from James Boyd, who covers Indianapolis sports. They asked Rebecca Lobo about the MVP race, and the question was framed, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. They've been in the Rookie of the Year conversation, but the question is, can either of them enter the MVP conversation? What kind of question is that? You could say Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. They've both had terrific rookie seasons. Clark has pulled away in the Rookie of the Year race. Can she enter the MVP conversation? Lobo, by the way, did say she expects Clark to receive some votes. Not for MVP, but in MVP voting. Let me make sure I clarify that, because her point was that the top 5 get voted on. So she expects Clark to collect some of those votes amongst the top 5 MVP candidates. But it's not even, just on ESPN proper. It's also Stephen A. Smith, who is a member of ESPN, but has his own thing too. He said this about the Rookie of the Year race. I don't know when it was filmed, but he certainly just put it out.
Angel Reese, Chicago Sky rookie Angel Reese of the WNBA. The Sky forward entered Sunday's game averaging 13.6 points and the WNBA best 12.6 rebounds per game. Well, last night, she snatched 22 rebounds. Reese is the only player in WNBA history with 3 consecutive 20-rebound games. I've talked about Caitlin Clark. I love the sizzle. I love the ball handler. I love the passing ability. I love the shot-making ability. But let's give credit where credit is due. Angel Reese is showing she's no joke either. I think she could win Rookie of the Year. She may have used Caitlin Clark to make a name for herself by waving the way Caitlin Clark used to wave at the opponents when she was smoking them. And Angel Reese did that to her en route to a national championship for LSU. But she's showing she ain't about just the sizzle. She steps on the basketball court and she balls. Give credit where credit is due. Angel Reese is doing that thing. And her personality fits lovely with the city of Chicago. She's going to be a very, very popular athlete for years to come.
I agree with all of that except for the Rookie of the Year part. That's the part I don't understand. Why, in order to give her credit, why must we force her into a debate she doesn't belong in? That only hurts her. Angel Reese is shooting worse than anybody in the league by a ton in shots close to the basket. Her team, unfortunately, Kennedy Carter's out for the game. That kind of sucks because I would want to see both teams at full strength. But that team can't score without Kennedy Carter and Mabry. Who knows? Maybe they have one of those games, because Reese had one of her best games of the year, if not her best game of the year, in the last Sky and Fever matchup. Again, I'm not trying to, I see other people bash Angel Reese, and they say, she's a bad basketball. That's not true. I've used the Dennis Rodman comparison all year, and now I see it popping up everywhere. There is a reason the Sky are better with Angel Reese on the floor than with Angel Reese off the floor. the rebounds do count. And I don't know. I wish I could figure it out when it comes to the field goal percentage of like how many of her shots she winds up finishing anyway because she keeps pursuing the basketball. Obviously, she plays good defense. She is a plus value player. That is me giving her credit. But by giving her credit, I don't have to say she still belongs in the Rookie of the Year race with Caitlin Clark when the sports books won't even let you bet on it anymore. A bunch of them. And anybody who's ever watched basketball, I can't believe that's still an opinion. It's like there's a quota. Here was Joe Budden, who, if he was still an active rapper, would have a great Caitlin Clark bar by now, but he is now one of the most known podcasters in the world.
And to you is this. I have seen footage of Caitlin Clark now, and I have seen footage of Angel Reese.
Oh, you about to piss me off. You about to piss me off.
I'm as pro-black as all the pro-black people. I'm as pro-black as Lisa Bloom. I'm telling y'all, and I'm not trying to cause a kerfuffle,
Joe. Caitlin
Clark is a hell of a lot better than Angel Reese.
And it's pretty strange in a sense, like that you have to qualify it because Reese is black and Clark is white. Like I've never seen that in basketball before. It's like breaking my brain. What does it matter? That's like, he went on to say that Clark has been on a warpath since she was left off of the Olympic team. And look, I mean, I'm excited, right? Like I'm working on my birthday here because I'm excited to see them play. And every time there's an extra buzz, and Reese helps bring that extra buzz. There's no question about that. But at what point, what does Caitlin Clark have to do? What do we have to see with our own eyes in the standings statistically? What do we have to see before they're not mentioned together in that context? It's okay to mention the Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever play Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. Like, you can mention that. The ticket prices are at record highs when they're meeting again. Mention that. Like, that's the proper context. The proper context isn't that the game is highly anticipated and therefore Angel Reese is still in the Rookie of the Year race. Like, at some point, y'all got to give it up. At some point. That's all I'm saying.